Hello, Al pals. Welcome to Big Al Presents. This, of course, is Big Al, and it is Films with Friends. Tonight, the film is the 1960 George Pal classic based on the H.G. Wells classic novel, The Time Machine, one of the essential movies of my childhood that led me into what I like about movies and why I love movies. Joining us, of course, as always, the lovely Eloy herself, the lovely Netter of Netter's Network. How are you doing, my lady? And what you sipping on?
I am doing well. I actually did something today I'm kind of proud of. We hooked up our new modem and router, and Troy was giving me major kudos for that. And
She did something that I absolutely could not. Of course, I'm going to be giving her kudos.
She
yeah,
was
he made me dinner as a
the
thank you.
IT guru.
Yes.
Hey, I had help. I had to call Comcast to set up the modem, because they have to do something on their end. And then I sort of got the router work, but then I ran into an issue, so I had to contact their help desk to walk me through the rest of it. But we got it working, so yay.
Awesome,
Um,
awesome.
yeah, so I am drinking a Meyer brand sparkling water berry
Very good.
until
And
I run out.
of course,
Right.
also joining us, the man who probably couldn't find the on switch on his computer without Netter's help.
So you're not that far off.
Her beloved husband of 32 plus years.
You were right in
32.
the first place, befuddled husband.
Yeah,
Befuddled. Okay.
32 years, August 3rd.
Uh, August. Oh, very cool. The day after my mother's birthday. And I would do like a little sidebar here.
Uh-huh.
Today is my parents' anniversary, 1952.
Oh, that's the
Wow.
year my brother
They
was
were
born.
married.
Yeah.
They were married, so that is nice. Also joining us, thankfully, because there were some technical issues with the whole modem router
We
thing,
were concerned, yes.
and had that. Just wanted to make sure that I had someone to talk to, and of course, who better to talk to than my Friday night guest host when we do the Friday night versions. Deleted scenes. Thank you for joining us. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing just fine. Had quite a day. Uh, Unfortunately, because of all of the weather we have been having, part of the ceiling caved in at the
Oh.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
place that not at my house, not at my house, the place I work.
Oh,
Oh,
okay, okay.
oh,
It
But
kind of,
still, that's pretty wow.
yeah, it is. It is. So, what's
yikes!
really funny about
What?
it is that about 20 odd years ago, it used to be a barbecue restaurant. And when the ceiling came down overnight, thank goodness no one was there. But you know those little order slips, the
Mhm.
servers
uh-huh.
use to write down the order. They found like a ton of them, of these old used order slips up in the crawl space.
Huh.
Yeah, like
I guess that's a way to get rid
you
of them.
know, barbecue sandwich with the side of fries or whatever.
Man,
It's
now I
nice.
want I want some barbecue. I got
Yeah,
some
so did I.
barbecue. I can't complain too much. I did have some leftover manwich, or well, sloppy joes. Excuse me. I did use the store brand, which actually is quite good. Uh,
Nice.
but yeah, like I said, Troy and Netter were having some technical difficulties, even about a half an hour out.
Yeah.
And we weren't sure, so I got on and asked Elias. He's like, "You want to join us tonight, just in case?" I mean, he's always welcome. As is, if anybody ever asks, well, I definitely will think about it. But just glad to have all of the friends here watching a great movie. And speaking of the friends that are here, who is joining us in the chat? FKHC 2005. Does anyone have the time? We have all the time in the world. Of course, he's also known as Tim. Lady Miss, the lovely garden nymph herself. Mr. Londell's Groovy Movies is floating around. Greetings and felicitations. Hip, hip, hurrah, tally-ho to the Squire of Gothos himself. Sorry. Going down the list, see who else here there. Of course, I had, so I hope everybody has a great time tonight. I cracked myself up. Connie Cleary, welcome, my dear. Thank you for joining us. Deleted scenes, of course, giving his salute. Going down, I know Sir Torrens in here somewhere. JPRPH1, thank you for coming by, sir. And did I miss Curtis Selby up higher? I know he's here, but okay. But yeah, hello to Curtis Selby. Of course, Netter's saying hi to everybody. Sir Torquay, there he is. I knew he was somewhere. There's Curtis Selby. Thank you guys for joining us as usual and as always. Just wonderful to have you guys here. Doop 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 doop. Go down the list. See who's here. See if anybody else is saying hi.
So has Evelyn Hampton.
Yeah, Evelyn Hampton. Oh, thank you so
Evelyn.
much for joining us. And of course, Geek Flags with Nate Knows 1973 is here. What up, Big Daddy Al? Oh yeah. Like I said, I was thinking about my folks today being their anniversary, and my dad was Big Al. I was Little Al when I was young, and it wasn't until they could not deny me that the Big Al title eventually, and I just finally assumed it. But yeah, thank you, Evelyn Hampton. I was thinking about you the other day. There was something like the monster from Planet X or something I saw on the high seas, like a big giant monster film. I was like, I haven't heard from Evelyn Hampton in a while. But yeah, the Time Machine. I know I've heard Netter saying that she loves this movie.
Oh yeah.
And how about you, Troy?
Of course, I love this. This is the cornerstone bedrock time travel film.
Oh yeah, definitely.
When we get to about the 1/4 mark, there's a commentary I want to make, and it's really going to involve a confession. So we'll get there.
Whoa.
No, it's not big. It's just
you didn't go back
I'm
trying to kill somebody, did you?
No, nothing that big.
Just checking.
Cool.
And deleted scenes. You, I'm almost absolutely positive you've seen this film, or have you?
If I have seen it straight through, I don't recall.
Oh my goodness! Wow, this is the first time, or at least a refresher to the memory. Yeah. Hopefully, if you just don't remember.
The movies that are the more fresher in my mind are like Time After Time and Somewhere in Time.
Speaking of Time After Time, that is 2 weeks from tonight. That is the partner film for this month.
Makes perfect sense.
Yeah, a little H.G. Wells action happened. A little Orville Nation popping in. Hello, PJ.
Hey, PJ.
How you doing, sir?
PJ.
But yeah, Time Machine, of course, based on H.G. Wells' novel, which I must say, like Deleted Scene says, if I did read it, I forgot it.
All right, then. Having said that, I'm going to go ahead and make my confession now.
Okay.
I have not read the book. It is on my list of to-reads, but that brings up a question at about the 1/4 mark of the movie, and we'll talk about that.
I definitely need to go back and read it. I remember it somewhere, and like that in War of the Worlds. A long time ago, like in school or something.
Yeah.
But I don't remember it at all. Like, I know it came up.
Yeah.
But I just cannot remember any detail. But of course, when you're a teenager and they make you read, ugh.
Yeah.
You
I
don't want to. It's only when you're an adult you can really appreciate it. So
the reason this is embarrassing to me is because of all the steampunk that we've done. You'd think I'd have read more H.G. Wells and especially The Time Machine. I have not. I did read
yeah.
Island of Dr. Moreau, The Invisible Man, and what was the space travel one?
H.G. Wells.
Yeah.
Oh, Things to Come.
Oh,
Was that it?
That's a future one though. That's what.
Well, maybe.
Is that
Maybe it is. Wait a minute.
I'm trying to remember. I might be wrong.
First Man on the Moon?
Yes, First Men in the Moon. That's the one.
Yeah, something like that. First, yeah.
You'd think I'd know the title better because I really, really pored over that book because TeslaCon was doing a their whole convention for the weekend was based directly on it.
I'll have to do a deep dive into the Wells films.
Yeah.
Maybe do like another month next year.
Sure.
Like, we've already done War of the Worlds, but could always, we can always remember that the film they did that was around the broadcast and the craziness that went around the broadcast. It was a film. It was a TV film. That could be kind of fun to visit. But let's get on with the show. It's about time to watch the film. The Cosby link is at the top, and I do know it's like floating around for all you future watchers out there with your own time machines that won't see this till later. I'm sure it's out there, probably even on what's that thing called?
Tubi?
Internet Archive.
Oh, Internet Archives.
I totally forgot to look at where else people could watch this thing, and that's my bad. I'm sorry.
True enough, but guys, this is one you definitely want to have in your home theater.
Yeah, this is a keeper. Like I said, I've got a few films from my childhood that helped mold my love of the sci-fi fantasy genre.
Yeah,
this one was one. Of course, we've done another one, The Seven Faces of Dr. Lowe, Forbidden Planet. There's a bunch out there. But let's get to this one. Of course, the Cosby link, like I said, is at the top. We are all ready to go. You guys ready?
Yep.
Yippers.
In 3, 2, 1, go.
There we go.
Metro Goldwyn Mayer.
Yeah.
I mean, wow, that's loud on mine. A George Powell production. Man, George Powell just...
Right?
God, I love his films.
And this is another one of those that is a childhood memory for me because this one was another one of the family classics on WGN.
Yeah. This was... I was reading some of the background stuff. This was the last film on NBC New York's Movie at 4.
Oh, wow.
When they showed a movie every day at like 4 o'clock, and this was the last one they did.
There you go, Nate. You're dropping the right on time memes, and of course, Big Ben, right? London Tower.
H.G. Wells' The Time Machine.
And of course, it's not too subtle. They got the sun coming up behind it, right?
Yep.
A little bit fast.
Right. Alan Young, of course.
Yep.
Yvette Mimieux, who wasn't 18 when this thing started.
Which also meant she was the last survivor. She just passed 2 years ago.
Yep. Whit Bissell was also in The Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Oh, Sebastian Cabot.
Sir Torrin points out that Mr. French is in this movie.
Yep, Sebastian Cabot.
Yeah.
See, there's another one. I don't even think of Mr. French when I think of Sebastian Cabot because he's been in so many things, you know?
I do think of Mr. French, but I also remember when he did Santa Claus.
And, yes.
Miracle on 34th Street remake.
Yeah, that's probably the one I think of the most. But I don't even... he's just Santa Claus in that movie, you know?
Yeah. directed by George Powell. I love the look of the film too.
Yes.
Yeah, it's got that like
It really does get that
back
1899, 1900 kind of look.
but also the way it's filmed,
Yes.
the color palette and all that. I just like
Yes.
it. Man, I need a maid. It'd be so
I don't know about the interiors, like where this was filmed or whatever, but it definitely has that Victorian look where everything's a little bit cramped, you know, even in big manor houses.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was just built. They built it on the back lot.
Yeah, it could be. And you notice the open flames in the chandeliers
Yep.
because you wouldn't have electric lights yet.
There's with Bissell. Or Bissell. I'm not quite sure how you pronounce it.
Think there's enough clocks there?
Well, someone who's kind of obsessed with time, you know.
And out pops Christopher Lloyd. Great Scott!
Yeah, exactly. The stall.
Yeah.
Right.
Look
You
how
notice in these movies the housekeeper is always elderly.
Yes.
What, all those clocks, you asking what time it
It's like you smart aleck. I love little details like that. And their reaction is just perfect. It's like the actors were in on the joke, you know. Well, but you get a good meal out of it. Come on.
yeah. Probably a nice fine wine.
It's not like he's being, you know, inhospitable. I do like that you, without knowing too much, you do get a lot of details about the characters. The one guy likes to drink, obviously.
is. Yes. It's like, okay, here I am. I'm a mess, and I'm probably going to pass out now.
But I like how this story is done.
Yeah,
Where he's already been through everything.
right. And he's going to retell his tale. A lot of classic tales were done that way.
Mm-hmm.
They were written that way. But you don't often see the movies done that way. I know. He takes a sip before anything else. I like how he says, "Well, I can still remember it as if it would disappear like a dream," you know.
Yeah.
I just fought all the, what they call Morlocks.
Yeah. It's a very pretty box.
Mm-hmm.
So I do also like the fact that he's starting the story with retelling the last time they saw each other. It's like, we know, just get on with it.
It's funny. Rod Taylor, he's not British. He's Australian.
Mm-hmm.
And then every guy's played the time traveler
Uh-huh.
has been Australian.
Oh, that's interesting.
Guy Pearce.
Yep.
And I think the one they did, the very first one, like in the 50s,
Oh.
late 40s, they did a film, a TV film. I like his sweater.
Yeah.
This looks comfy.
I have to look back at it again.
I also like his accent, too.
I think he's Irish.
That's what I thought, too. Well, it kind of can be felt, but... That's actually a very succinct way of putting it. Yeah.
When I look into the fourth dimension, the faces of Buffy and Jody will be staring back at me.
Sir Doran, she's the best cook in the world. Well, it's still British food, so enjoy your braised tennis balls.
Yeah, the British aren't exactly known for their cuisine
Right.
historically. It's much improved now, from what I understand, but
Would that be then diagonal to be the fourth one? Because
No, that would actually
right, front,
that
back.
that would actually constitute a line within the other three.
Yeah.
yeah. Because it'd be like almost like a quadrant, wouldn't it? Like, there'd be 1, 2, man. Whew.
Evelyn is right. British food, true original British food, before they started importing curries and stuff from India, are bland as far as spices go. But it's even worse than that. They are generally boiled, which also removes a lot of flavor from them.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, this isn't fair. I can't see. That is a beautiful box.
Yes, it is. And I love that little time machine, which
Right?
sadly has been lost
Has it?
To
That's
a
a shame.
to a fire.
That's a shame. I'll bet plenty of people have made
Oh, yeah.
replicas, though.
I like that box though.
Okay, quick sound check. Is everybody hearing me okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So, oh, check.
I need to get a power wheelchair and make it look like a time machine.
We, when we were working for TeslaCon, we were talking. The reason I never got around to reading the novels because they dropped the plan. They were originally talking about doing a weekend based on the time machine, and we had already begun doing up plans to make reasonable facsimile of the full size prop of the time machine.
The Shape of Things to Come. He said the thing.
That's another novel of his, yes. Also, sort of a Twin Peaks tie-in, if you remember from the tapes of Dale Cooper. He tells Diane, file this under things to come.
Well, yeah.
It is so cute. The fact that you're about to find out it actually works.
Yes.
Awesome.
I love this. He takes a cigar and breaks it up, bends it into the shape of a man.
Now the question is, what is the mechanics behind it? How do you break through into that dimension? Never explained, but who needs to?
Of course, it's not explained, but I've thought about this. The spinning disc at the back to me implies creating some sort of a like time bubble,
Yeah.
And of course, it doesn't physically move in space. It only moves in time.
Right.
Yeah, so when he is sitting in his basement and he could see things changing around him,
Right.
he hasn't moved.
Yeah.
And when I say it doesn't move in space, of course it moves in space. It moves relative to the ground it is still
There's
sitting
one long
on.
cigar that's sitting in there that he bent up.
It's a long, thin one. It's not a cigarillo, but it's a long, burning one.
Love that sound effect.
Yeah.
Boom.
And so if you think about it, it's literally going to continue moving forward in time faster than, real time.
Yeah.
Forever.
Yeah. Until the power source dies.
True.
They said. Until the power source runs out, and then it'll be who knows how far in the future. Now, of course, this is what I love about time travel discussion.
Yeah.
Yes, we say it's traveling through time and it's still there.
Yes.
But does it move with the Earth, or does it just stay in that same position?
That was what I was implying. I believe that it is physically taking up the same space. It is still sitting on that table. So
Right.
it is in connection with that table. But here's the interesting thing. This scrambles my noodle. Technically, they should still be able to see it, because it should still be on that table every moment from the time he starts it until forever. Funny you should say that,
Yeah,
time
funny
traveler.
We say time traveler. His name is George, and it is H. George Wells.
Yes,
That's
in this movie, though, not in the
movie.
book.
In this movie, yes.
Although, I never thought about this before. That does make Time After Time a reasonable and logical sequel to this movie because of the establishment of him being George, or, H.G. Wells, right? The creator of the time machine.
Right.
Yeah, my character fought in that war. Well, he didn't actually fight in the war. He was a surgeon. I also like the thought of have you thought about the financial implications? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw the movie Primer. That's exactly why you use a time machine, to play the market.
Especially, like I said, they're not sure, at this point, he's not sure it would actually bring him back.
Right.
He just knows it'll go forward. But if it would be a wonderful thing to have if you go forward and come back and you play the market as you know how it's going to play out.
Exactly. The other problem is with his model. Of course, he sends it forward in time, and I point out the one potential plot hole there. What if he had sent it back in time? Wouldn't that cause a bit of a paradox, not having seen the thing on the table? But maybe it works the same way as it does here. You don't actually see it, even if it's there.
Well, I think it just simply removes itself in space. Like, if you're traveling through time, you're not visible at that particular moment.
I see what you're saying. Okay, I see what you're saying. Sure.
It's like you're sped up so much that the physical aspect is no longer viewable.
That actually could work. Yeah. Okay, I see what you're saying.
The Boer army has won another victory.
And that's the other thing. You could find out, the result of a war, then go back in time and tell, the Allies, that strategy's not going to work. You better do this instead. Or we know it didn't work because of this. So instead, prepare for that.
Philby's still there.
Yep. See, he's probably the smartest one of all of them. Even smarter than George.
And he's a simple shop owner.
Yep. He's got the common sense. Mm-hmm. He can read a man.
I do like his accent, like you said, better.
Right? Thank you. Nobody does.
But I like his philosophy.
Yeah.
About why he wants to go to the future.
But I would argue that a real student of history would know that there's really not that much difference between a man of 1899 and 999. Yes, you're right. They do.
But he is an optimist.
Yes.
Very much so. And you see that kind of get drained from him too.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. See, he knows that it's very likely true.
Yeah. He's trying to convince himself it's not, but he kind of knows it is.
In a way, if it's not, it's even worse, because it means his friend believes it and he's nuts.
Yeah. Now Rod Taylor's hair looks like 1960s, but Alan Young's hair it looks like it's of its time.
Yep. And I do believe it's a hairpiece too.
Yeah, but it just looks right.
Yes, it's on point. Yeah.
The voice of Scrooge McDuck. Yep. And
honestly, his hair isn't that far off if he were to use some product in it and put it back, a little bit more sharply.
I mean, you can imagine, like I said, it's 1899. I mean, Of course, we remember 1999 when everything was changing.
True.
Of course, we had the whole technological uh, Y2K fear. But back then, they didn't. It just was a turning of a century.
Exactly. Although they didn't even realize what they were on the precipice of. They didn't see electricity coming. They didn't see, horseless carriages coming. Planes.
Well, by this time, I think they had an idea about some of those, like electricity. I think.
Yeah, but I don't think they saw
But
it
it
as
wasn't-
anything more than a gimmick. They didn't see it
Yeah.
being in everybody's house, powering all their lights. They didn't see cars replacing horses.
Right. Yeah. They were there. They just weren't part of the culture yet.
Right. I mean, even today, even as they talk about, big language models and quantum computers, I'm not going to have one of those in my house. Maybe companies will use that or something. Who knows? But then again, you get
goes,
50 years in the future. You never know.
Lighten the chandelier up.
Yep. Celebrate. They're coming up on New Year's.
Yeah, it's
Is that
New
right?
Year's Eve. It's New Year's
Okay.
Eve. Because remember, this took place 5 days prior to when he just crashed back in again.
Right. Oh, yes. You're right.
And he's about to take off again. Or initially. I like his little smoking jacket kind of thing. I don't know if it's a smoking jacket, but a lounge.
I've actually been wanting to get a smoking jacket.
One little detail I love. You see all the little rivets on the dish?
Sure.
There are 365.
There should be one broken off, too. For the leap year.
A little quarter one. Yeah.
Yeah, a little quarter, right.
I like that he made the seat cushy.
That is a barber chair.
Yep.
It's still cushy. It's velvet and looks soft.
And this does thankfully still exist, and it was refurbished. It looks exactly like that today.
Oh, really? I know there's a bloke that does make replicas for different events and stuff like that.
In fact, I mentioned Big Bang Theory earlier.
Uh-huh.
That was not this one. This was not the original one. They wanted to get it, but the guy did not want to let them use it. The guy who
Understood. Yeah.
So they did get a reproduction.
I like that. Evelyn Tesla knew it.
Yeah.
See, and we had talked about that too, the idea of Tesla having something to do with the design, providing the electronics for it and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We were even at the point where we were starting to look into old, what do you call it, barber chairs. Just, it didn't happen.
God, I love everything about this time machine. The way
Right?
it's designed. Everything.
So he already had the thing built and ready to go while he was having his dinner party.
Yep.
Yep.
See, and the laboratory became faint around him, so that does imply there's a visual element
Yeah.
that you don't notice, that you can't see because of. Yeah, because the lights didn't really go dark. That's how he's perceiving.
Well, if you only went for like a day, yeah.
Yep.
knows it works.
Yep. I mean, and the clock or the fob watch is the key, right? Because he could have just fallen asleep for an hour, right?
I love the stop motion.
Yes. And a bit of time lapse photography.
Yeah. I love everything about this.
Yep.
You need a seatbelt.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
It's like that snow on his windows should go away, unless that's dirt.
Yeah, it could be. Can you imagine? He's sitting there going, "Oh God, I'm making a note to myself. I gotta clean these darn windows."
He's still in the same year. He hasn't.
Yeah. He's gone about 6 months into the future.
Yeah. Manufactured by H. George Wells.
Oh, where you see his miniskirts.
Yeah, right?
What amazes me is that shop is still around.
Actually, there's a lot of shops in London that are hundreds of years old.
What gets me is they're still using the same mannequin all these years later.
Sure.
It held up.
Well, you got to remember, there was a time when they built things to last.
True.
Sir Torrance says, I became very fond of that mannequin, and now we know how that movie came to be. Mannequin, yeah, exactly.
Does look a little like Kim Cattrall.
At some point, I'm sure his housekeeper's like, okay, I'm not getting paid anymore. I'm leaving.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's why she stopped dusting. See, that's another little detail that I find cool. Not only do they put the cobwebs up, but there's dust on the cobwebs, too, which there would be.
But all of his furnishings and everything are still there.
Yep.
Well, I think they explained that a little bit later.
They do. The rats have gotten in. Now, this does also beg the question, what if he were to go back now and not continue forward? Would this future that he sees be changed? They never address that.
You know, his garden's a mess.
17 years, no one's been tending it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Well, no, you mentioned about would it change if he went back?
Yeah.
Probably not, because it was the same when he went back initially. When he went back, anyway.
No, I mean, I basically.
Look for him.
Wait, what did you say, Stephen?
It never occurred to anybody to just look for him.
Well, even if they did, they wouldn't have found him.
Sign says private property, keep out. So I'm guessing they're still considering it to belong to him.
You go away for a few days and your house becomes a haunted house attraction.
It's like, what's that monstrosity?
Yeah, what was I just saying about horseless carriages?
Do the math.
Yeah.
And then back in the present, Philby's like, "Whoa, wait a minute."
Yeah.
There you go. So that was a blow to his.
Yeah.
He thought the future would be a better place, almost a utopia.
But in fairness, he's only gone forward one generation. You don't expect society
yeah.
to change significantly in that amount of time.
But still, he's learning one of his dearest friends is dead.
Yeah, exactly.
His nation's at war, and I think you go away for a few days and your house becomes a haunted house attraction.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, Curtis Selby's first time watching. I hope you're enjoying it.
Oh, cool.
I like the music accompaniment too. It's very,
yeah.
very somber, very sad.
So
He's got to remove the board so you can see the mannequin.
I'm not even going to wait. I'm going to go ahead and address this now. The Time Machine was written in well, if I'm not mistaken, it was released in 1895. So they're only from Wells's point of view, he's writing about 5 years or so in the future, right? Everything else is speculative. So the key details, World War I, the projected World War III that's coming up and so forth, all creations of the filmmakers here.
Yeah.
It's not like H.G. Wells knew about World War I, World War II, World War III.
Yeah, they're using what they knew because the audience would know it.
But therein lies my embarrassment that I don't know what H.G. Wells wrote.
True, yeah.
Now it's World War II, the Blitz.
Yep.
Yeah. I'd get out of there.
Great Scott!
Yeah.
$1966. See, now it's speculative because it's 6 years
Yeah.
in the future of when they made the film.
Right. But it's reasonable speculation because they knew about nuclear power. They knew about nuclear bombs and Cold War sort of stuff, right?
That little girl who picked up a doll
Uh-huh.
was a Woody Woodpecker doll.
Oh, interesting.
Because I think George Powell is friends with the guy who did the cartoons. Oh, and the outfits that the civil service guys are wearing
Uh-huh.
are the uniforms from Forbidden Planet.
Oh, okay, okay.
Or at least a, variation of, like a repurposing.
Well, that's kind of fortunate. The land was preserved.
Cleveland Delby.
No. Doubly.
Delby. Delby.
Oh, of course, this would be the same boy.
Yeah, that's James.
Very subtle makeup effect around his eyes to give him crow's feet. That's a compound called rigid collodion.
It's 1966 right now, Curtis.
Yep.
Atomic Satellite.
Philby's is now a department store. Hide till the all clear.
And he's why
That
doesn't he
line's
just
important.
go after him so he can talk to him like he said he's
Right,
got
right,
to.
right. Exactly.
Yeah, you better get in your time machine
Yeah,
and get lost before it's
exactly.
gone.
Yeah, see, that's the other thing. If he had gone and gotten into the shelter, his machine would have been destroyed.
Better bleeped out there for a second.
Yeah, my computer decided to shut down just because.
Uh,
Well, that's not an internet problem. That's a computer problem.
Thing was, all my connections were connected, so I don't know why it shut down.
I know.
like I was saying, the nuclear attack triggered the Earth to just go crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, you might want to get out of there.
This miniature work is actually really, really good.
Yeah.
There's a spaghetti sauce.
I believe it's oatmeal.
It looks like pasta sauce.
But nonetheless, it's perfectly reasonable lava analog.
Just got that bubble going.
Yep.
That is a daunting thought.
Right?
9,008.
7, 8,
9,000. Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you think about it, over 9,000 years have passed.
I like these little future.
Yeah.
Just hope the thing doesn't disappear on you, dude.
$802,000.
Yeah.
I mean, just shy of 1,000,000 years in the future. That's
Yeah. Sir Doran.
I signed a head of temple to Alyssa Milano.
That's funny.
Yeah, Curtis Selby, it's 802,000 and change AD. I think October.
That's actually kind of clever. He takes the rod so that it doesn't accidentally, get bumped or something and start moving.
Yeah, I think it's the control button. Is it also the power in the crystal or something? I forget. I forget how it was.
Oh, I don't think he said specifically, but it makes sense. That
What's
would be
funny
helpful.
is the crystal on top of that. I've got like a crystal on my table in my living room.
Uh-huh.
It's from an old scale set, like some like brass thing. It just had this glass faceted ball on it that I kept for some reason. Now I'm like,
Yeah.
hey, it's like having the time machine control knob.
Right.
Now, if I ever make a time machine, I have my control rod. And one of those things to think, what would it have been like when that was like new?
Yeah.
What
Good point.
what was the culture like?
When you consider that the statues all look like the Morlocks or whatever, it had to have been their culture that created it.
But the Morlocks are an underground culture.
Well, the predecessors then.
I see fruit. He looks tiny. Do giants live there?
No, just it's a big place.
That's a little reverberation of sound.
Well, and see, there's the other thing. It's like, well, this fruit is all fresh. These plates are clean.
Yep.
So it's not like they've been sitting here for years. So, I mean, that's an indicator someone's got to be around.
Or something.
I mean, the fruit alone. The fruit didn't grow there, right?
Well, yeah.
It had to be gathered and put in those bowls.
By something.
Yes.
It's filmed in Culver City, California.
Makes sense.
Dun, 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 dun. I like that music.
Yeah.
I'll say, give it a chance. Nature will
Oh, yeah.
come back.
We've seen it happen. It's already happening in
Yeah.
Chernobyl.
And they don't know how to swim, apparently. And they don't care that she's drowning.
Nope. That's the problem. Nobody even bothers. The implications are very strange because it's like just simple evolution would, preservation of the species, right? Unless evolution has taken the form of them being selectively bred as herd animals.
Interesting you should say that. Whoa.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and I'm only just drawing this connection, right? Because they're all like blonde, right? As if they were specifically, genetically engineered.
I always think of that Star Trek episode where they wanted to kill Wesley.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah, I always think of them like the Eloy. Man, Yvette Mimieux was gorgeous. And 17 years old.
I was just going to say, sexy and 17, right?
17 years old. She wasn't even old enough to work a full day, but did anyway.
The Slogan's Run spinoff is weird.
Okay, so Curtis is pointing out something I did not realize. He said that he had to learn their language. And yeah, for movie simplicity, they kind of gloss over that.
Sir Torrance says, the episode where they wanted to kill Wesley? I thought the series was about doing that.
Yeah, right? Well, they kept
If
saying
only.
fire at will, right? I thought they meant Will Wheaton.
Ba-dum-bum.
This will all be covered in my new show, Shut Up, Wesley, which will be Wednesday nights at 7.
I was like the Big Bang Theory shirts. When,
Sir Torrance, they speak God's language, English.
well, they are in England, and maybe just enough of the language survived.
No, not after 10,000 years.
I know. I'm just,
But you're half right. Technically, that is English, because they are still in England.
Whenever they're talking, it's English. But you're right. English evolves very quickly, or at least to our experience. When you see these people, it's like when they recreate Elizabethan English, or what it really sounded like.
Yeah,
You can't understand it.
that's for sure. That's absolutely right.
Actually, there's two ends.
Yeah.
There's a Y. Oh, yeah, he's making a lot of assumptions here.
Well, actually,
What?
considering
He's going to create that written language then for them.
Exactly, I was going to say, since they don't have a written language, since she doesn't read, his spelling of it is as good as any. He's the Webster of that era.
They mostly come out at night. Mostly.
It's like, shouldn't they close the front door?
It's like I haven't eaten in, I don't know, 100,000 years or more.
Yeah. It's true. That's true. It would have been.
Oh, I thought that was a pomegranate.
I like those goblets.
Yeah.
Don't assume his gender.
It's ma'am.
Well, and
I
this
like
is
it.
the,
Sartori's like, this is a weird reboot of Village of the Damned.
you know what? He's right.
Yeah, I know.
Now I can't unsee that.
Okay. He just asked what kind of government rules your world, and they just said, we have no government. So they have a concept of what government is. They must have.
Yeah, and laws. Yeah.
No, they're on their iPhones all day.
Ah, the Giving Tree.
See, now
He's
you could imagine a future that would be like that with, like, you know, robots or something doing everything.
Right.
I don't think they care.
Or
Yeah.
you can even, I mean, you're talking about robots. I mean, think about just like force field manipulation.
Yeah.
You wouldn't even need anything, it would just happen.
Yeah.
Transporter check.
I mean, we're getting really close, right? I mean, with Amazon being able to, you know, deliver your groceries to you every month if you want on an auto thing, you know?
But
Like, keep into a library.
But they're still human. They're still a human.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This is probably the hardest scene in the movie.
Because the books just fall.
Yeah.
apart.
At the very least, it means no one has read that book.
It's like when the time traveler realizes that buying physical media
Yeah,
is
exactly.
not always a perfect thing.
Well, what a book that's 100,000 years old. They shouldn't even be in that good a condition.
Yeah.
Well, if you notice, he touched them, they all just turned to
Yeah.
dust.
Yeah. They're Gen Z socialists.
It's like, dude, what's your issue? You said you wanted to see books.
Like, you know, he's ticked because he thinks that he doesn't know the whole story yet.
Right. Yeah, it actually gets worse.
Yeah. Way worse.
But with that, she had curiosity, right? She didn't act on it. It wasn't enough to really push her. But just the fact that she gets up and watches after him, she was curious.
There's some of those little fruit. Little figure 8 fruit.
At least you could take one of those berries back and give it to Philby. Man, you should have low-jacked it.
Now, everyone, follow me through the wall.
Follow the bouncing ball. Yeah, I don't know why my laptop decided to shut down. It's at a full charge. That was weird. Now I gotta find another way into the castle.
This is why you don't leave your time machine in a bad neighborhood.
Well, yeah, you know, I mean,
I feel like surrounded by the cult of David Hemmings.
Yeah.
I like David Hemmings. He's kind of cool. I like him.
His son was in Band of Brothers.
Well, technically, yeah.
True X-Men and the Brotherhood. Yeah.
And she's like, I ain't helping you in nothing, Jack. So you're gonna get me in trouble. Hope you don't plan on building a fire on that dry grass.
who are the Morlocks? Well, they're the things between the X-Men and the Brotherhood. Yeah.
Yeah. I was also reading something about the Eloy that Yvette Mimieux, well, Wena's the only one who's wearing pink.
Well, she's wearing a darker shade. There were others in the back that had a light pink. They all had light colors.
Yeah.
Hers stands out as a bright color. Because she's the main character. And since they're all, blondes.
You can run out of matches, my friend.
One thing is, too, he built that fire on dry grass.
That's actually a good point.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm not catching your reference, Curtis. Does this film have a palace of green porcelain?
He says it was in the book.
Oh, okay.
See, Hensar not remembering anything about the book.
Yeah.
So his time machine ended up being stashed by the Morlocks. Oh, we'll see.
Well, maybe that's what that place is, but they just don't use that name.
The Morlocks, who are they? Well, judging by how grabby the guy was, Harvey Weinstein found a way to clone himself.
Harvey Weinstein hid in the underground during the attacks,
Yeah, exactly.
and his DNA evolved.
He's like, I just have to outlast the bastards.
Hundreds of thousands of years mutating.
2 points.
Ah, it was a long shot. I'd say 3 points.
It's a big thing to put it into, not a small.
Okay,
basket.
okay. Take away my little victory.
Do you need another drink?
I do. Thank you.
I like he's kind of he's talking about setting the purpose for himself.
Yeah.
Maybe he could kindle the spark that would lead them, you know.
Exactly. Show them fire, show them violence, teach them how to wage war, start it all over again.
Woohoo, mankind!
And there's conveniently placed boulders down that wall for him to be able to climb down.
Yes.
Well, they could have been set up for them to climb up. Rings that talk.
They say, I am precious.
One ring to rule them all.
Right, exactly.
One ring to rule them all, one ring to find them, one ring to bring them all, and another one that's the index.
Right.
7 days. Oh, wait.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
Lord of the Rings prequel is weird. Yeah.
I looked down. Where are they at?
Some old building that's got technology. That voice sounds familiar.
Alan Freeze. The Boogermeister Meister Booger.
Oh, Paul Frees.
Paul
Yeah.
Freeze, sorry. I was thinking Alan, the guy who's doing the other filming.
Ah, gotcha, Curtis. Yeah, I gotta read The Time Machine. Like cattle.
She's probably never had a kiss before either.
Probably true. Yeah.
It's like, dude, why don't you put on your jacket first?
He's not even taking it with him.
Oh, she gave
Look
him a
what I made
favor.
for you in the shop.
A
Yes.
favor for her night.
I like how she's zoned out.
Yeah,
It's like Pavlov's dog.
exactly.
They hear the sirens.
So there just has to be convenient handholds for him.
Well, just like the prison that Batman escaped from. So they've kept the air raid sirens 10,000, or what was it, 100,000 years
It
into
must
the
be
future?
the first Tuesday of the month and it's 10 o'clock.
800,000 years.
Exactly. Yeah, it's the first Tuesday of the month, 10 a.m.
And all the boys got sugar bowl haircuts. And all the girls have bobs.
Yeah, I guess that this must be a future where He-Man was a much bigger deal. They're going to see He Who Walks Behind the Rose. Yeah, exactly.
They're going to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz. Look, see, there's a dark pink dress.
Well, that wasn't Lena. See? But see how easily he mistook her
Yeah.
because
They
the
all
dress
look-
stands
yeah.
out.
There she is.
Oh, well, back to work.
This is Melissa Milano's temple. All it does is make annoying noises. Feeders of Vol. Yeah, oh, that's another great analogy, JPRPH1.
Oh, yeah.
Bored now.
Like, I was like, who is this guy?
Yeah.
It's like, it's all clear. We want to go back to, eating bananas and the weird fruit. And sitting by the river all day.
I wasn't joking when I said it's like modern socialists, It's like, yeah, okay, well, some people gotta die so we can, be lazy and do our thing.
Yes, but then where do the new people come from?
I'll bet some of those that are taken below are forced to breed. Just the way you would breed horses.
So now they're following him.
Well, again, another sign of curiosity.
There's rungs for him to climb up.
Well, of course. It's a movie at the end of the day.
Well, it's also the remains of underground shelters.
That's true. Yeah, good point.
Wrap it up with grass that's conveniently hanging out of the wall.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not grass. I'm sure it's supposed to be moss.
Which is staying on the stick without any sort of adhesive.
Yeah, you'll notice it's now tied there. You notice those are, what are they called? Tesla coils. Which implies some sort of a power source or something.
So he was right when he said he heard machinery.
Nummy.
Yeah, well, yeah. He had to have suspected that, though, when, he's the one who made the analogy to cattle. So for as primitive as the Morlocks appear, they have to be able to maintain that machinery.
Look, Ewoks.
Yes. No, I was going to say Jawa.
That's what I
Jawas,
meant.
'cause,
Jawas.
Glowing eyes, yeah.
I think you see what it's putting out. I wonder if it's like oxygen creation or.
Oh, that's right. The rings talked about oxygen factories, right?
Yeah. Indiana Morlock and the Eloy of Destiny.
Yeah, right.
So
Oh, that was a short one. Well, this is kind of like Moses, right?
Well, they actually, because Rod Taylor's just shy of 6 foot, they wanted to have shorter Morlocks.
Oh, okay.
So he looked more imposing.
I like that view. Like, you get to see it from their point of view, how it, like, is so bright to them. And as it burns out.
Where's your stick?
Yeah. There it is.
Stick?
You know, and the Morlocks are thinking we had a perfectly reasonable system. We had a food source, oxygen source, and this guy's coming along and messing with our day.
Right. Now, the interesting thing, too, though, is he knows how to fight. They don't, because they've never really had to.
Yeah.
They are aggressive, but they have no
don't.
martial skills.
They just swipe.
Yeah.
Whoa. Ugh. Ugh.
Yes, get the fire stick.
It's interesting. As long as the torch isn't in somebody's hand, it doesn't affect them at all.
Yeah.
See? He taught him to fight.
Tell him to fight.
War
Yep.
will continue. Man, that must have been a pretty blatant punch. Bit off his tongue.
And the lights go out.
Yep.
This is what happens when David Crosby lives underground.
Yeah, exactly. He does look like David Crosby, doesn't he? Oh, I didn't realize that was some sort of a fuel.
It's like, come on, we can just push him off.
Yeah. Well, seriously, that's what he literally has to teach them to wage war against the Morlocks. He's gonna start another war. Sic semper tyrannis!
Because you would think there's probably just as many Morlocks as there are Eloy.
Probably. Well, no, probably not.
Yeah.
You'd have more herd animals than you would prey.
True, yeah,
So,
I just thought
prey
about it,
animals. So,
But there's still probably more than just the ones that are like,
oh yeah, probably.
because there needs to be a breeding population.
Right.
And he still hasn't found his machine.
See, and I guess it does kind of take that spark of, that survival instinct to get them moving and going, okay, I guess I don't want this to happen again. Actually, they're like burning them alive down there is what they're doing. So maybe this population of Morlocks is going to be wiped out.
But it makes you wonder, what's the rest of the world like? Are there any other pockets of
Yeah, good point.
humans that have evolved a certain way or different? Maybe even
Well, I don't know. Maybe there's like they were planning a series where, like George and Weena and, a couple others like go traveling around and visiting other places. Like Logan's Run.
The series. Or Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, or Planet of the Apes, right, exactly.
Okay, but he still doesn't have his time machine.
Yeah, that pretty much wiped out that particular population of Morlocks.
It's like those ant hills where you pour the lead down in it.
Yes, exactly. But here's the other thing. Now there's no food coming. You're going to have to go gather it yourself from now on. You might want to learn how to swim now.
Curse always says sadly about how the book ended. The book's a bit darker. Dude, you've got a hot 17-year-old blonde girl who is now probably in love with you. Well, actually, by this time, she's 18, I think. She turned 18 during the project. Although there was this girl in the window.
Yeah. She wasn't a very lively type, but she had a nice smile.
And a great fashion sense.
Yeah. She always kept up with the times. Yeah, kind of like that. See, that's interesting. A guy of his time really wouldn't know how a woman did her hair up.
What the age difference between them two were. Okay, he was born in 1930. She was born in 42. So only a 12-year age difference. That's not too bad. Oh no, not Alyssa Milano.
Yeah, right.
Get in your machine, travel back a little bit, but like when you got there, move it, but, make sure it's outside.
Right. And now they're trying to help him. See, he's really had an impact on them.
And you notice they don't take as much punishment as like a normal person would.
True.
See, he's like,
He's dead just from falling over, yeah.
yeah. Ah!
Ew.
That's how he got all messed up. But
Like his
he's
little
went
Morlock teeth.
Yeah.
forward in time.
Whoa. Ah! Now watch him like reform again.
Yeah, exactly. That would be just as gross. You'd almost expect that, right? He reforms, comes back and attacks towards him, scurries away backwards.
Oh, just passed my birthday.
Man, he went back in time a lot faster than he went forward in time.
Slow it down gently.
Yeah, don't do what you did last time.
And he shouldn't be in his basement again, should he?
No,
No, you'll
outside.
see. He's about 10 feet away from where he should have been. See?
So now he just needs to drag it back
Exactly.
and go forward in time.
That's right. I locked the door before I left.
And the bell's ringing. I bet that's 8 o'clock, just when they were supposed to have dinner.
Right. And that's how he had to get in. Right. And this is where we came in. So it took him about an hour and 20 minutes to tell the story.
Yep.
Does he still have the flower?
Scissors panels.
Yeah. See, and this kind of explains why his buddy then buys, preserves the property. He knows that he's traveling through time.
It's like, okay, George, fix up your arm, grab some medical supplies.
Yeah, for sure.
So, get some nice clothes on.
Yeah.
Pack a suitcase.
Yeah, it's like, change your clothes, pack up a first aid kit, some more matches, a lot more matches.
Well, you're going to want to learn to make them yourself so that you can teach someone else in the future. He knows, yeah. Goodbye means he's going back and he...
But he suspects, definitely.
So he told this whole story to them, so that means he just told him, "You're going to die in World War I."
Yep. But during wartime, he's probably such an honorable man, he would still enlist.
Probably. Because everybody that went to war knew they were likely to die anyway.
Yeah. I love his coat.
It's an Inverness. I actually made one of those.
He had to drag it out so he would be outside the place.
Right.
Yep.
So that implies that she was listening in on the story.
Well, wouldn't you? It was kind of a festival.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure, the housemaids knew everything that was going on.
See, I love that she's the one that notices. She's got a sharp eye.
Yeah.
Still would have packed a first aid kit and a bunch of matches.
That's a great question. Which 3 books would you have taken?
3 books.
Hey, Doctor Who scarf.
Yeah.
It's more like a Gryffindor scarf to me. Is that a bowler hat?
Yep. I've got one of those too.
I do. I have one.
Well, you're welcome, Lady Miss. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Ta-da! And it does beg the asking. What 3 books? I love that. I love that eternal question, and I'm glad they never said or implied.
Yeah, because again, if you start picking apart the time travel element, why does it just have to be 3 books? Why couldn't he make multiple trips and take as many books as he wanted? He could go back and get supplies. He could go back and get all sorts of things.
Yep.
But as I was just pointing out, when she said he should get more matches, no, he needs to teach them how to make matches.
Yeah.
You know?
Or just make fire.
Well, yeah, you got to start somewhere, right? Start with fire, then teach them the chemistry to make fire, make matches to make fire easily.
Curtis Selby said, "Great film, not quite as good as the book, but an incredible adaptation." That's what I've always heard. That even like people who are super critical
Yeah.
of a book adaptation, they really don't have a lot of bad things to say about this film. I think it's very much a product of its time. Very well done. I need to read the book though.
I'm going to as well. Yeah.
Yeah, just to have
I'm sure I have it
that
upstairs
knowledge.
on my bookcase.
It's in the public domain. I could actually find a copy of
Actually,
it
I
online.
know I do. I've got a copy of the Time Machine in my library
Yes, you do.
upstairs.
But you see, this is an example of, without having read the book, we have pointed out, their use of, real world history up through 1960, reasonable speculation about the near future, right?
Yep.
So yes, we didn't have a nuclear war in whatever 1965 or whatever, but they did have they did know about nuclear bombs. They did know that was a possibility. So it was a reasonable speculative future.
Yeah.
And then what do? They jump way ahead so that there's no reason to, step over any other possible futures. That, I think, is a great way to interpret the story, but keep it, still be true to the context of the original story.
Curtis Selby said the book did not have a happy ending, but the film, like the film, we don't really know in the end what happened to the time traveler.
Gotcha.
Which it's kind of cool that it's left open. In this one, is there hope for a new world for the Eloy, or is he just going to go there and a few hundred years later they blow themselves up again or something? But
Yeah.
it's interesting to think, something to kind of think about. What 3 books might you take along? But in 2 weeks' time, just to jump ahead on the time machine, just like a little push ahead, we're going to be having even more adventures in time with a time machine with H.G. Wells. In Time After Time, in that film played by the great Malcolm McDowell, as he tries to thwart the sinister plans of Jack the Ripper, played by David Warner. Great film, 1979, I believe. So that's in 2 weeks, but like I said, that's 2 weeks. Let's look at the week ahead. Tomorrow night is a busy night. Always. Sundays are always busy. Deleted Scenes. What Western you guys watching tomorrow? Or are you?
All right. Tomorrow afternoon at 4 p.m., Outlaw Bill and I will be watching the Western Dead Man with Johnny Depp,
Ooh, I haven't heard
Robert
of that.
Mitchum, and Gabriel Byrne from 1995.
Oh, wow. Young Johnny Depp.
Yes.
So that's at 4 o'clock
That'll
Eastern
be
Standard Time?
at 4 Eastern.
Okay, and then 8 o'clock?
8 o'clock for Unscripted, episode 74, entitled, Well, Shut My Mouth. And I am going to be talking about the late unpleasantness in the UK and why the UK police seems to think they have some jurisdiction over us that they don't actually have. So I'm going to be delving into that. Of course.
Jurisdiction over us. Sorry, we took care of that in 1776.
Yeah.
You did.
And then 9 o'clock on Geeky Geezers on Age of Boomers channel. 9 o'clock Eastern, of course. Any hints to what you guys are going to be talking about?
We have a lot of entertainment industry finances to talk about. Disney came out with their earnings report. There's been some hubbub over at the Warner Brothers, including the Warner sister Dot, and of course over at Paramount. We'll be discussing all of that and much, much more.
Awesome. And then the other side of midnight at 12:05-ish, Deleted scenes will have, I guess, whoever is awake.
Yes.
And generally not me, because I like go to sleep. I'm waking up at 7 in the morning going, oops.
Yeah.
Any special topic or people you got coming on that you know of? Or
I do have one confirmed guest so far. And as for topics, it'll be whatever comes up in conversation.
awesome. Monday night, Troy Pacelli, do you have a double feature for us?
Yes, as a matter of fact, and I will be pulling in. See, Deleted Scenes is a much in demand YouTuber.
Yes, he is. Yes,
I am pulling him in to guest host with us. Last call Monday night at the movies, starting at 8 Central. That's 9 Eastern your time, folks. For double feature. Still kind of loosely following the dream theme with Inception, which I have not yet seen. So I'll be seeing it for the first time on Monday.
I haven't seen that myself.
There you go. Well, you'll have an opportunity if you want to, tune in. And although not specifically a dream, it does mention dreams in the title. The Robin Williams film, What Dreams May Come.
I thought about that one the other day when you were talking about dream movies, and I thought, well, that Robin Williams one had something like that in a title, but I didn't know what the film is about specifically.
Oh, have you not seen that one either?
I have not seen that one either. There's a lot of films.
Let me put it to you this way. Netter and I saw it in the theater when it came out. By the end of that movie, we were both holding each other and ugly crying.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it was an intense one.
Awesome.
But so that'll be Monday night.
That's Monday night. And then Tuesday night, live from Sparkwood 21. What be happening there, fellas?
Dougie
Hi,
Jones.
Hello!
It's Dougie Jones.
Go ahead, Deleted. It's your show.
Coffee and hello.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
And we are going to be watching episode 7 of season 3, Twin Peaks: The Return, entitled "That's a Body, All Right." There has been a couple of deaths, and one of the victims has, as of this point in time, yet to be identified. In this week's episode, we're going to find out who that was.
Yep.
And how it fits into the overall story.
Very cool. Wednesday night, nothing. I don't think.
Nothing that I'm aware of.
Thursday
Not a dark
night.
thing.
Thursday night things. I am assuming is happening this week.
Of course. Thursday things. My special guest will be Enigma Severus. We're looking forward to hearing from him and seeing how he's doing, as well as just seeing what he's got coming up.
Yep.
Awesome. And then on Friday night at 8 p.m., Big Al Presents Films with Friends, and Deleted Scenes will be joining me for a film he has suggested from 2020. So it's fairly a recent film. Underwater, starring Kristen Stewart, Vincent Cassell, and T.J. Miller. 7 miles below the ocean surface, something has awakened, and I can't wait to find out what it is, because I've never seen it. So please join us Friday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Underwater. I hear it's very Lovecraftian. Am I right?
Yes.
Awesome. Love me some underwater monsters. That, of course, will lead into 10 p.m. Last call with Troy Pacelli. Will be drinking heavily.
Yeah, that absolutely is
That's the plan.
That is the plan. I have not yet set my plan for Friday because I need to touch base with Boomer tomorrow. We've got a couple topics, and we're going to we'll decide tomorrow before Geeky Geezers.
And that leads us into next Saturday night at 10 p.m. What is the film next week? I know, but let's hear.
I know. My film for Saturday will be Dreamscape. So we're going with that dream.
Yeah,
theme.
that'll round out the month's dream theme.
I didn't know because I thought it was another one. So Dreamscape, awesome.
Let me just double check. I didn't look at the wrong. Yeah, Dreamscape.
Yep.
Okay, I must have. That must be the following 2 weeks that it's.
Drop Dead Fred.
I gotta go look at the thing. You've changed things on me, or
I didn't change anything. What
I
did
didn't
you
see.
have?
Oh, you know what? No. You're right. I'm screwing up because I'm an idiot. Never mind.
No worries.
I just remembered something and didn't remember it when I was talking. So I know something is coming up. It's just not until next month. So I believe, but I'll double check that because I may have seen that wrong. I don't know, but that is Dreamscape next Saturday. Looking forward to that. That is a good film. I like that film.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a long time since I've seen it. Dennis Quaid, Kate Capshaw, right?
Yeah, besides Indiana Jones 2, it's the only other movie I know of with Kate Capshaw in it.
Okay, and before we wrap up here, let's start with Netter. Anything you want to... no, let's not start with Netter because we end with Netter.
Okay.
Let's just say... first of all, I want to thank Deleted Scenes for being here. Always great to know that if there's ever a technical difficulty at the Pacelli residence, that Deleted Scenes can pop in, so I'm not alone. If he wasn't available, I would have still gone and done it, but I might have asked for some help from the chat if there were anybody in there. But thank you, Deleted Scenes, for dropping by. I really appreciate it. Do you have anything else you want to talk about, promote, tell us what's coming up?
Well, I do want to thank everybody once again for joining us here tonight in the chat. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the movie. Don't forget to hit the like, share out the stream, and if you are new to Al's channel, please subscribe because he is criminally undersubbed. And as I always say at the end of every show, from HQ and all points north, south, east, west, and beyond, good night, take care, stay strong, because this is how we win.
And don't forget that fourth dimension.
Right.
Mr. Troy Pacelli, anything you'd like to talk about, promote that we didn't talk about, or anything?
No. I think we covered everything I've got planned, at least in the very, very near future. I do want to say I am trying to get better about kind of following both you, Deleted Scenes, and you, Big Al, with the planning out the future a little bit better. I'm trying to schedule a little bit further out. So yeah, I'm trying to get better with that. And of course, those of you that follow me on the social media, especially the MeWe group for Friday Night Last Call, that are on the Discord or whatever, I will be posting about those things more often, so that you can plan ahead and you can see, okay, this movie is coming up in a month or so. Yeah, I want to make sure I can make it for that, or whatever the case is. But I just want to thank everybody. This has been my first gainful month from YouTube, and it was really exciting. I feel like I'm kind of growing a little business here, and it's all because you guys have helped me create a little bit of a community here. Let's keep it going, and awesome. I want to thank every single one of you. You guys are awesome.
I'm going to split Netter up a little bit here. Netter, you got anything you want to promote before we do the sign out?
I am still trying to edit some of my vids to put up, so I know they're a long time coming. Just real life has gotten in the way, and I haven't had the time. But and for those of you who know about our water mishap,
Still dealing with the
recently.
loss of comic books.
Yeah, it's like I've had to deal with that, and now I have to research finding new replacements for those things for the appliance company's insurance company.
Oh,
So
man.
yay, fun stuff. Yeah.
Of course, I'd. Oh, okay. Oh, I'm sorry.
No. So yeah.
Okay, I'll shoot it back to you. I'd like to thank everybody for joining in tonight. This, like I said, was a very dear film to my heart, and as they all are in some aspect. Of course, check out my channel for more reviews and rewatches and rambles the weeks and months to come. Check out my reviews for Borderlands, a retro review for Humanoids from the Deep, 1996. I watched the other one, the remake of the one we watched last week, and a film called The Firing Squad. Those are the last few that I've done. And I'm hoping to have the Blake Lively film It Ends With Us review up tomorrow. I watched it earlier this evening. I will say it is better than Borderlands. So, which is terrible, by the way. No, it's not terrible. It's just boring as hell. But anyway, I'd like to thank everyone for joining in. It's always a great time to have you here, but I'm not going to say any more about it because nobody says it better than better.
Well, y'all know what I always say. We can talk amongst ourselves, and that's all well, good, and fun. But it's so much more fun when you guys are joining us in the chat, and you're dropping comments, questions, trivia, being goofy, whatever it may be. And it doesn't feel like we're separated by miles or continents in some cases. It feels like we're all hanging out in the same room, enjoying each other's company and having a great time. And you guys, you know you're not just our friends. You are our family. We love you guys, and we appreciate you so very much. You can be anywhere right now, and you're here. And that means so much. It's so encouraging to see you guys in each of our streams. Not just encouraging us, but encouraging one another. So thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of our family. And until next time, let's see, this is Saturday. So until Sunday with everything that's going on there, good night and God bless.
Take care, everyone. Have a beautiful Sunday ahead, a beautiful week ahead. And Curtis Selby, you're right. Sometimes it doesn't matter when you finally get around to seeing a good movie. I'm glad you finally got a chance to see it. I'm glad you watched it with us. Take care, everyone. Until the next time, always find something fun to watch. Take care.
Night.